Welcome to Tech Tuesday. This week's theme is storytelling. And what not a better place to start than our pop-up story walk down here on the bike path by the skate park. The book that we are featuring on this pop-up story walk is Discovering Charlie by Craig Vroom. He's a local author that has given us permission to display his book. In case you didn't know, a story walk is just that. It's a storybook, and each sign is a different page in the book. And as you walk along down the bike path, you can read this story as you go. So bring your folks, bring your friends on down here and discover Charlie with them on the way to the skate park. Since no one's around, I'm going to take my mask off so you can hear me better. We have no Quinn this week. She is at a camp, so you only got me. Here is this week's take-home kit. It's very exciting. There's a lot of stuff in it this week, so I'm going to go ahead and unbox it for you now. The first part you're going to see is our Take-Home Tech Tuesday instruction book. Hold on to that. You'll need it right away. We have a couple pages of images that I just printed off for you. Tons of options, so you got plenty of things to choose from. I have a magic bag of rocks. I wonder what those are for. A little acorn capsule full of decoupage glue, so be careful opening it, it's sticky. And a paintbrush. So what we're actually doing this week is something called story stones. And I've already done a couple, but I'll show you how we go through the process now. The only thing you're going to need from your own house is a pair of scissors. Everything else is provided. So step one tells us to select a few images that we want to put on our stones. And here's a hint. These images are going to inspire our storytelling or our imagination play. So when you look at this, you want to think about what image you think is important or could inspire your mind into something imaginative. Some of them are characters, some of them are things, and some of them are places. So I suggest using a mixture of everything. Not just a whole bunch of characters, but also maybe a beach scene and a campfire, and of course a pile of books. So I'll go ahead and cut out the pile of books real quick. There they are. Just like that. Looks like a little sticker now. Then you're going to get your glue out. Now be careful taking your lid off so it doesn't splatter everywhere. And here's a helpful hint. You turn your lid upside down and place your cup in there and it stays upright, so it's not going to spill over the second you put it down. But be careful with it. It is a little rocky. Next, you're going to choose a stone out of your bag. Get it out. Some of the images are a little bigger than others, and so are some of your rocks. So if you have a big image, you might want to put it on a big rock. Also, another hint, I did wash these rocks pretty good, but some of them are still pretty dusty. And the glue's not going to stick very good unless you get all that dust off. So make sure you have your, like a little wet rag or maybe just a paper towel to clear it off with. And once it's dry and fairly clean, you can paint on your glue onto the rock. Like so. Then you take your image, plop it on there like you're gluing it to the rock. Get it on there nice and tight. And then you get a little more glue and put it on top of the image. See that? Nice and shiny and wet. It's going to take, I would give it an hour or two to dry. and then test it. It may need a little bit more after that, because you want them on there pretty good so you don't have to worry about it ever again. So we'll let that sit. I have a few that I did last week that we can look at, so we don't have to wait 2 hours. Here's some rocks that I glued last week. This is kind of what they look like when they're all completed, right? So once they're dry, you're pretty much ready to play. You'll get your rocks, you'll put your stones back into your bag. And there's a few different ways you could do it. It explains right here on the book, on the instruction page, how to play, but I can demonstrate it for you too. If you're doing it just by yourself or with one friend, you can take turns choosing a rock out of the bag. The first one I chose was a thunderstorm. You set that down, and that's the beginning of your story. Once upon a time, there was a thunderstorm. It was a dark and cloudy night, and lightning was crashing all around when all of a sudden, the next one, it's a cute little taco. All of a sudden, someone dropped their taco in a puddle and left it there. Poor little taco all alone in the thunderstorm with nowhere to go, turning all mushy, when along came a wizard. The wizard cast a spell on the taco and turned him into some sort of taco monster. And he ran around the town, spraying hot sauce all over the place. And on you can go until you run out of stones, or you can elaborate on each stone more too. Other ways to play it is if you're playing imagination games like a dollhouse or stuffed animals or Legos. You can use this to inspire your storyline in your imagination play. If you're playing with other people, you can just take turns drawing the stones. So you take turns telling the story back and forth. That can be really fun and funny too. Here's another helpful hint. I got all of these rocks just from behind the library in the big pile of construction debris. You could go out and about in the mountains and on your hikes exploring and find really cool rocks and fill your baggie up with a lot more, and you could make a lot of story stones if you wanted. This is just to get you started, but you can use your really fun, beautiful rocks too. I'm excited to hear your stories, and if you have any fun ones you want to share with us, you can post it on our Facebook page. I'll share the link with you now. So I hope you enjoyed this week's Take Home Tech Tuesday Story Stones. We'll see you next week.